Of the SNE candidates that we registered, we realized that 46 of them did not report to take the examination. The category of SNE candidates who needed only extra time, we have not included them in this table. But from the table, it appears, Mama, that the category of the deaf are most affected by their form of disability compared to the others. As the chairperson has said in his remarks, quite a big number of them have not been graded, up to 44%. The board has taken an interest in this category and will carry out an analysis if there is something that has to be done to improve their ability. Nation malpractice. The scouts and our markers reported a number of cases of suspected external assistance that were rendered to candidates by third parties inside the examination room, and many of these are teachers. 5 of them were caught red-handed in different parts of the country, writing mathematics calculations on the board as the examination progressed. Others were found to have written solutions on small sheets or papers, and they would pass this to the children to copy. Many of these who were arrested have been produced in court, and they have been charged under the relevant sections of the Act. Mama, the board engaged with the district inspectors of schools on the quality of persons used to distribute the examination, from the police storage stations to the sitting centers. As a result of this engagement, which, Mama, you remember guiding, the criminal practice of cutting open the question paper envelopes by distributors and sharing the questions through social media was controlled. This practice had become rampant. There were other measures put in place along with the support of the security agencies, and this resulted in the examination atmosphere being much calmer than before. In accordance with Section 5, subsection 2B of the UNEB Act 2021, the board will withhold the results, completion of investigations. Where there will be a prima facie case, the board's tribunal, the Examination Security Committee, will be released when the tribunal maybe does not find sufficient evidence, or that the results will be cancelled when there is sufficient evidence for that effect. After the conclusion of the hearings by the board's tribunal, the list of districts and schools with cancelled results will be published. Mama, I know the press will be itching to ask me how many of these have been withheld. As I have said, it is premature at this time because tribunal may release results, some of these results that are withheld, and it will be an erroneous statistic to say so many are affected when some may be released. So this information will be given at due time. I now comment briefly on the report on the work of candidates. In the course of marking, examiners observed, as they have done, areas where candidates showed weaknesses. These observations have been compiled and will be produced in a document which we call Report on the Work of Candidates. And it will contain advice to the teachers on how to handle the areas that have been identified. All stakeholders, particularly the teachers, are urged to utilize this report because, Mama, this report contains very, very useful information that will help improve the teaching learning in all the 4 subjects. Mama, allow me to express our gratitude. I would like to join the board chair in thanking you, Mama, for the support that we received and we continue to receive from you that ensure that we receive the necessary funds to run the examination. And we also thank the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development for releasing the funds that Parliament appropriates to us. This time, Mama, they have done it within a reasonable time, and the examination activities run as scheduled. I want to thank the chairperson, former chairperson, Professor Mary Okwakol, under whom most of the activities of this examination took place. The current chairman, Professor Boa, hit the ground running in the middle of this, and him together with the board continued to oversee the activities of management. So we thank them for good governance and guidance. Ma'am, I want to thank the Inspector General of Police. They gave me a team of senior police officers to work with during this examination period, and also the Chief of the Defense Forces also gave me a team from the military police that greatly assisted us in the distribution and overseeing the security of examinations at the storage stations in the field and also during the marking exercise. Mama, the forces' way of greeting is to salute, and with your permission, I would like to invite Superintendent of Police Francis Akabwai and Brigadier General Bainomu Gishad, Commandant of the Military Police, who are here, to just step forward and greet you before I proceed. I don't think Mama has seen you. You are far behind. If you kindly step in the open so that... Mama, these are the persons representing the two forces that helped us greatly during the examination, and the board and management is extremely grateful to them. Ma'am, I also want to thank the district leaders, the chief administrative officers, district and urban education officials, monitors, scouts, and invigilators for their participation and support in the field conduct of the examination, and also the examiners who took time to mark these examinations. Honorable Minister, I wish in a very special way to appeal Examinations Board Secretariat, who always rise to the occasion to serve their country with dedication and hard work. Mama, these are the unsung heroes. I also like, with your permission, to allow them to step in front and take a bow so that you see the ones who are representing the others who are here. Mama, they are led by the Director Examinations on your extreme left, and the others are representing the Directorate of Examinations and the Public Relations Office. This is representing the team that works so hard behind the scenes. Mama, I would like to thank the media for the role that they played and they continue to play in giving prominence to examination activities and also exposing malpractice. Those pictures of the suspects that they took and that appeared in the electronic and print media played very, very deterrent roles during that time. I wish to congratulate all the candidates who have passed the examination at whatever grade they obtained, because all the grades from 1 to 4 will enable them to proceed to the next level. We would like to thank the teachers who prepared them and also their parents and guardians for the support. Finally, I wish to thank the institutions that allowed the Uganda National Examinations Board to use their premises and facilities to mark the PLE, despite the fact that this exercise affected their school holiday and the Christmas period. For collection of results, Mama, I want to inform the country that results will be uploaded on the center portals. We now have a direct electronic link with every examination center, and as soon as you release results for use by the public, we shall upload these results on the portals so that they can download their results from the comfort of their schools or from wherever they can do. However, the district and municipal and city inspectors of schools may still collect the hard copies. We shall make them available for each school in each district and local governments. This may be collected from our offices in Ntinda starting from Monday, 29th January 2024. As of now, there are no hard copies available, and I do not advise any district inspector of schools to travel to UNEB today or even tomorrow, which in any case happens to be a public holiday. No copies are available as of now. As I've said, parents and candidates and other interested parties may also use the SMS on their mobile networks, which will post the results of their candidates on their mobile sets instantly. I just wish to remind them on how to get this message. They will open the menu, the message menu, then type PLE, then leave space, and type the full index number of the candidates. After you've typed the full index number of the candidate of your interest, you send this to 6600 on the MTN and Airtel networks. Many times, people get this instruction wrong, and they start ringing our public relations office and everybody else telling them that they cannot get the results. So I want to repeat that they should type the number of the candidates. When I talk about index number, I mean the school number, which is several digits, and then the individual number of the candidate. These candidates should be able to know their numbers and send to 6600. They should be able to get their results instantly. Honorable Minister Mama, thank you so much for listening to me. I submit.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dongo. Before you resume your seat, I would like you to accompany your chairperson. And in recognition of the contribution of the former chairperson, please, Professor Kwakol, accompany the current chairperson and the executive director to hand over the results. Professor, you're not expired, you're inspired. So please step forward and hand over the results to the First Lady. Thank you, Professor Celestino, former Chair Professor Kwakol, and Executive Director Daniel Odong. Now I'll invite Honorable Joyce Kaduchu to invite Mama to give her statement. Honorable, you're welcome.
Mama, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, my colleague, the Honorable Ministers of States in the Ministry of Education and Sports, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education and Sports, the Chairperson of the Board and the former Chair of the Board, the Executive Director of UNEB, all the senior members of staff of the Ministry of Education and Sports and UNEB, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Mama, today we are here to celebrate a credible achievement in the education cycle of our children, which is the foundation for them to realize their full potentials. This achievement wouldn't have been possible if it were not for the sacrifice and hard work of thousands of our heroes under your able leadership, Mama. On behalf of the education fraternity and on my own behalf, permit me to congratulate you, Mama Janet, and all the candidates, the parents, the teachers, and all stakeholders as we celebrate the 2023 PLE results. We do not take this achievement for granted. This is a huge milestone because it directly impacts on the future of our learners. Mama, your leadership and strategic guidance of the education sector in this country has made it possible for us to work hard as a team and to achieve these results. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been called here to invite Mama, but permit me to give 2 points before I invite Mama to address the country and officially release the PLE 2023 results. Point number 1. There is a biblical story about the parable of the talents in Matthew 25, 14 to 30. Tells us of a master who was leaving his house to travel, and before leaving, he entrusted his property to his servants. According to the ability of each servant, one servant received 5 talents. The second servant received 2, and the third received 1 talent. Upon returning home after a long absence, the master asked his 3 servants for an accountability of the talents he had entrusted to them. The first and the second servants explained that they each put their talents to work and had doubled the value of the property with which they were entrusted. Each servant was rewarded. The master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I'll make you ruler over many things." Similarly, ladies and gentlemen, we have all been entrusted with a responsibility according to our ability to secure the future of our children. As leaders, as directors, as head teachers, as teachers, as parents, as non-teaching staff, etc., etc. Today, we are called upon to give full accountability on how we use our talents to produce the best results in order to secure the future of our children. The PLE 2023 results will certainly reflect our individual and collective responsibility and commitment towards laying a solid foundation for our children for better learning outcomes. The PLE results is one of the most important indicators to evaluate progress made by government and all stakeholders in improving access and equity, efficiency and quality of teaching and learning outcome through a shared responsibility. It's therefore my prayer that we all play our individual roles in order to produce a comprehensive all-round children for the future of our country. Point number 2, Mama, permit me to salute our fountain of honor, His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for being the brainchild behind the UPE program in Uganda. To date, the literacy level in Uganda has significantly improved. It has gone to 76% from 43% in 1997. This increment is very critical for Uganda, for Uganda's desired goal of transforming the economy into a modern country. The UPE strategy showed the school enrollment increase from 2.5 million in 1997 when UPE was introduced. And now the enrollment stands at 8.6 million learners in government-aided schools that are getting UPE capitation grant. Today, ladies and gentlemen, as Mama releases the results, 66.9% of the candidates are UPE beneficiaries compared to 33.1% of the candidates who are in non-UPE schools. The UPE program in Uganda demonstrates that a country like Uganda can fight poverty through ensuring universal access to education for its citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, despite the significant achievement of bringing services to our children closer, there are still some few challenges in delivering these services. And the good news is that we are all committed to play our different roles towards overcoming these challenges. Mama, the timely conclusion of the examination process is indeed a true confirmation that UNEB is always prepared to perform despite all the challenges that they do encounter. I am pleased to record to you, Mama, to note that UNEB now has put in place tested mechanisms for fighting examination malpractices than ever before. We applaud UNEB for standing tall in maintaining the integrity of our examinations over the years. As I conclude, to our parents, being a parent is an incredible blessing from the Lord. Raising children and watching them grow into great personality can bring such a great joy in the family. Parents, celebrate the joy of PLE with your children. Even those children who do not perform to your expectations, please carry them, show them love, encourage them and give them hope, because their future is still bright with our collective support and guidance. Lastly, I'm appealing to all parents, guidance and sponsors to register all our children in schools and let them report to schools promptly for the new term. that begins on Monday, 5th February 2024. I say all this for God and my country. It's now my singular honor and my privilege to now invite you, Mama, the First Lady, and the Minister of Education and Sports, to address the nation and officially release the PLE 2023 results. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together to welcome Mama as she comes to address the nation.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Kadruchu. Please sit down. My colleagues, the Honorable Ministers of State present here this afternoon, the PS for the Ministry of Education and Sports, and your team, the Chairperson of UNEB, the Executive Director for UNEB and your team, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to you and Happy New Year to you all. I wish to first of all thank God for the very gift of life and for a new year, and that He is so gracious to us that we all are here. None of us is missing. We must remember to thank Him for His faithfulness. He has indeed enabled us as a ministry and as a country to complete the 2023 school calendar activities, now culminating in the release of the 2023 primary living examination results. We thank God for the lives of our children, their parents, and teachers who have worked with them throughout their primary education cycle. We also condole with the families that may have lost their children to one cause or another, as well as teachers who passed away on duty. The calling upon must always remember is a special calling. It is unique because it is sacrificial, and much cannot be accomplished in the learner's time in school when the teacher is unavailable. You all heard for yourselves the statement of release of results by the Executive Director of UNEB. I note that the number of learners who were registered for the PLE in 2023 decreased compared with what we had in 2022, and you had the explanation for that. The decrease was anticipated as the impact of COVID-19 on the education system started to wane, and so is the COVID-19 recovery intervention that is still underway in the education sector is implementation of the abridged curriculum. I have been informed by the National Curriculum Development Center that the P7 and S4 cohorts of 2024 are the last classes of learners utilizing the abridged curriculum. Thereafter, we shall be using the full primary school curriculum and the revised O-level curriculum after this year. I am happy to see that this year, the negative development of absentee candidates to PLE has been reversed. In fact, the rate has come down to the lowest level compared to the previous 5 years, as you heard Mr. Odong inform us and inform the country. Nonetheless, 1.6% or 12,000 pupils who were absent remains a large number. When a child fails to show up for the end of cycle examination, it is a wastage of that life which had spent 6 to now 7 years, and then the government spent the resources for the entire education system, and then the families who are working with these children. When these didn't sit their exam, it is truly a pity for the whole system. Therefore, I reiterate the appeal I made last year to the parents and to the teachers to ensure that a child who has been registered to sit their end of cycle examination does not miss doing so. Whereas I recognize the great strides the country has made, taken in bringing about gender parity in access to primary education for boys and girls, I observe the concerning trend regarding the boy child. The statistics from UNEP indicate that we are now seeing an undesirable trend whereby more and more girls are completing the primary education cycle, while boys are increasingly dropping out. This is a moment for us as a sector to look back and reflect on this undesirable trend. Why is a boy child not completing primary education? We must all begin to get worried and try to find out what is the answer to this question. We need to prescribe solutions that address the fundamental causes to prevent this negative trend from getting out of control. Now, I must continue to thank UNEP for the amount of work they do to ensure that our children with special learning needs are adequately prepared to take the examination. In my view, the number of special needs education learners who sit PLE are increasing, not because we are having more children with disabilities, but the sensitization being done and realization by more parents that these children must not be kept at home, but that they also must go to school, just like all other children. I appreciate the concern by the chairperson that the provision of the necessary accommodation, devices, and personnel for the special needs candidates is costing the examination process for this category of learners a lot more money, as you heard him inform us. We shall study further this area of assessment and examination of special needs learners and see what feasible interventions we need to make in a manageable manner without compromising the quality of education this category of learners assesses and attains. From the Executive Director's report, I observed that a high number of candidates did not attain the grades where one would be considered as having passed. Therefore, quality for the PLE certificate, they didn't qualify for the PLE certificates. Government is going to ensure that this trend is reversed right from its root cause. That said, as government, we need to provide a pathway of hope to these learners. Therefore, I have instructed the Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Education and Sports to communicate to the respective accounting officers in the local governments that such learners be accorded an opportunity to repeat primary 7 in all public primary schools. And then we can all work hard with them to better their grades to a level where they can qualify for the various opportunities of education beyond primary 7. Meaning, as the children try to work hard themselves. The parents must support them, the teachers must support them, and also the Ministry of Education do everything it will take to support these children so that we see them through this level of education so that they too can at least get a certificate for primary education as they go out into the world. Even if they don't continue, but at least they have that certificate. In classroom, teachers alike need to be thorough with what continuous assessment is supposed to help these children. It is a disservice to move a learner to the next level when you as a teacher or head teacher very well know that the child has not demonstrated minimum mastery of the appropriate knowledge and skills in the previous class. It is a disservice to that child. It is a service to the whole system of education. Therefore, I ask the Directorate of Education Standards to work with the district education officers to ensure that capacity is built in our schools to utilize formative assessment, because promoting a learner to the next class simply because the year has come to an end is a disservice to that child, to education, and to the country. That said now, allow me to also appreciate the efforts of the various security agencies of government that jointly support UNEP in achieving our ministry mandate during these end-of-cycle examinations. I call upon the Uganda Police Force and the judiciary to help us bring to book those persons proven to be complicit in any form of examination malpractice. The act of assisting learners to cheat in examination erodes the confidence and credibility of the entire education system and the integrity of the country at large. When such learners who cheat go through unmasked, it communicates a bad image to the peers and models a terrible trend in education and in examination. I now congratulate the candidates who have performed well and thank everyone who played a role in bringing forth the achievement of the 2023 PLE. I thank the immediate former chairperson of UNEB, Professor Mary Okokor, because most of the 2023 UNEB exams were prepared during her term of office, as you heard from the present chairperson. With that, I welcome Professor Obua as well as a new chairperson, and I trust that he will build on the strong foundations his predecessor laid down. Lastly, I'd like to inform the public that the selection exercises of Senior 1 will take place on the 1st and 2nd of Feb 2024. Thereafter, the first term for the Senior 1 cohort of 2024 will start on Monday the 19th Feb 2024. I want to repeat that. The selection exercise for Senior 1 will take place on the 1st and 2nd of February 2024. Therefore, thereafter, first term for the Senior 1 cohort of 2024 will start on Monday, the 19th Feb 2024. It is now my pleasure to release the 2023 primary living examination results for public use, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Mama, before you go, we want to have a photo moment where the ministers of state join you there as you officially release the results. Honorable Ming, Honorable Kaduchu, and Honorable Gwang. Please join Mama. And Chair UNEB and the Executive Director. Thank you so much, Mama, our Honorable Ministers of State in Education, the Chairperson UNEB, and Executive Director UNEB, Daniel Odong. As Mama resumes her seat, I invite Honorable Muyingo to come over and give a Luganda summary, high-level summary of what Mama has said. Yes, of what Mama has said, and thereafter we shall have the anthems in reverse order and close the function.
Mama, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, my colleague, Honorable Ministers, the Chairman and members of the UNEP Board, and the staff, ladies and gentlemen, I've been given a very simple assignment of translating all that has been said since morning in 3 sentences. Mama olwaleero ofulumiza ebigezo ebyava mu bigezo by'abaana baffe abakola ekyomusanvu omwaka oguwedde. Mama wabadde ayogera gye tuli, yeebazizza nnyo Omukama Katonda olw'ebirabo ebingi bye yatuwa eby'omwaka omupya mulungi, naddala birabo by'abaana baffe n'abazadde baabwe aba P7 yaffe ne tukuba mu ngalo. Mama yeebazizza Omukama Katonda olw'abasomesa n'abazadde n'abasaba era nabo tubasabirenga bongole okukola omulimu obulungi. Mu bintu ebyogeddwa UNEB Secretariat, Mama alina ebintu byatukoonyeeko nga bikulu. Bw'otunuulira results abaana beewandiisa, namba ey'omwaka guno ebadde ntono kwenkanankana bw'ogigeraageranya n'omwaka oguwedde, era ensonga Secretary wa UNEB yazoogedde. Omwaka guli abamu mwatwala abaana bammwe ne mubakozesa P7 nga balina kuba mu P6, ebinnyonnyola ebizibu ebimu. Ekimu ku bintu Mama byagaye nti abasoma kwakutambula bulungi n'ettaamu yali nnungi, twamalako nga tulina bizibu nga bye twabanga nabedda, naye waliwo ebikyatuluma nga ffe abavunaanyizibwako ebyenjigiriza ndoza ne Munnayuganda yenna ebweru eyo. Ekimu ku byo be baana abakyali abangi abeewandiisa okukola ebigezo ne batalabikako ku lunaku olw'ebigezo nga bituuse. Bw'ogenda ogeraageranya n'ennamba ezaasooka zaali nnene okusinga zetufulumizza olwaleero, naye omutwalo ogumu mu 2,000 abaana abo nga tebakoze bigezo, ddala nnamba nnene era tulina okweralikira. Tunoonyereze, Mama tulagire tunoonyereze kiva ku ki, naye n'akubira omulanga bonna bakwatibwako, tusale amagezi gonna agasoboka nti buli mwana alina okuba mu P7 ng'ayise bulungi, ateekeddwa bulungi, asaana okuyambibwako okulaba nti akola ebigezo amaleko sayiko eyo. Ekyokubiri maama ekimweraliikiriza ndowooza naffe ffena kitweraliikiriza kwe kulaba nga omwana omulenzi namba y'abaana abawala abakola P7 bamalako yeeyongera waggulu naye ey'omulenzi ekabusi. Tulina obuvunaanyizibwa nno okulaba nti abalenzi n'abawala bonna tubawa obusobozi obugenda ku ssomero ate era bamaleko. Maama asanyuse olw'abaana baffe abalina obulemu ku mibiri gyabwe abayambiddwako, naye ne tusabibwa twongeremu amaanyi. Naye yeeraliikirira tweraliikira ffenna bwe tulaba abaana abatalaba nga bangi mu bo baagenda ne bakola ebigezo aye ne batayita bulungi, abamu ne batayitira ddala. Alagidde tukinoonyerezeeko n'ennamba y'abaana abangi abagwa be tuyise ungraded naye tweraliikiriza. Maama alagidde permanent secretary n'abakukwatibwako ensonga zino ku mitendera egy'enjawulo tusale ffenna amagezi okulaba nti abaana baffe bamalako P7 nga tebasobodde kufuna makisi basobozesa kufuna certificate, abaana abo baweebwa omukisa baddemu ekibiina era tubayambe bafulume essomero nga balina certificate esobola obbongerayo oba okubeera nti bajja kukulaakulanya ensi yaffe. Okusomesa omwana n'omusindika busindisi nga tafunye by'atina kufuna mu mwaka ogwo, maama akigambye nti si kintu kirungi. Abasomesa, abazadde tusale amagezi okulaba nti abaana baffe situmalaga bayisa mu system just kukulula bukuluzi, abamu kye mwayitanga automatic promotion, nti omwana gwe tutwala ku mwaka oguddako ateekeddwa okuba nga afunye obukugu bwe yeetaaga, minimum bwe yeetaaga. Yeebazizza bonna bonna abayambye ku UNEB, sijja baddamu security n'abalala. Era maama yeyongedde okwennyamira olw'okuba nti wakyaliwo okubbira mu ebigezo. Ekintu ekyo UNEB ekoze ekinene nnyo okulaba nti erwanye, okulaba nti kikendeera, naye tugamba nti kisobola okwewalibwa singa ffenna tukola ekituufu. Ne judicial etuyambe n'abapoliisi n'abaki okulaba nga omuze guno omubi ogw'okubbira mu bigezo guviira ddala mu education system. Maama akulisizza bonna bonna abaana baffe abakola ebigezo ne bazadde baabwe olwa kino kye tugenda okucelebrating olwaleero. N'atugamba nti ng'ennaku z'omwezi 1 ne 2 February abaana omwaka guno selection exercise ejja kuba etandika wali ewaffe, ate ennaku z'omwezi 19 ogwokubiri taamu ya senior 1 lw'egyokutandika. Maama nsonyiwa simanyi mbituusiza naye ndowooza lwe sentence ebaddemu. Mbaagaliza olunaku olulungi.
Thank you so much, Honorable Muyingo. Honorable Gwang will get an opportunity next year to translate in Luganda. Shall we ask anthems, please? And after that, we shall depart. The Mama has another event taking place here, so we shall clear as fast as possible. Anthems. Thank you.